All right, good morning, everyone. Ryan Clemmer and the rest of the Inhabit team here. It is March 4th. Thanks for joining us for the contractor call this morning. We're probably going to have a pretty short call today. Content is a little bit light. Hopefully that's not a bad thing for all of you. We'll be about 20 minutes, it looks like, for the call today. So I'll go through some basic ground rules as usual. Everyone that's on the call, feel free to go ahead and chime in with questions throughout the call. Via the IM messaging. Both Jason and Wendy are up on IM, so we can address any questions as we're moving through the content. And we can pause at any point and unmute you if need be during those questions. I'll go ahead and just drive right into kind of some content this morning, just cover what we've got going, and then we'll get going from there. So here we go. All right, so to start us off, we've got Scott Davidson out on the road right now. He has been running interviews with most of you. So over the course of the past 2 weeks, you may have sat down with Scott and answered some survey questions with him. I know that Chevy, who's sitting in with us today, just went through that process. So Scott's down in Southern Oregon. He was down there yesterday and then transitioning back up to Bend today, so I think he's going to be out talking with Green Savers out in Bend today. But Scott's been just trying to grab some information to continue our process in helping optimize all of our internal systems. So look for more from Scott in the following weeks as he sums up all the data that he's pulling together on those surveys. And thank you, everyone, for your candid responses while Scott's sitting down with you. We've got some marketing content from Steph this morning, some seismic updates, website update, new homes and home score. We've got some product updates from Wendy, and from me, we're just going to be talking a little bit repetitive on the threshold and Cake V2 updates. And then finally from Jason today on QR results and reviewing some of our past Techie Breckies, and then looking forward as well as a project of the month. So let's go ahead and pass things off to Steph. She can drive through her content. So here you go, Steph.
Thanks, Ryan. Good morning, everybody. I'm going to just give some quick highlights of what we're working on, news about seismic, a little conversation about home scoring, and then I did want to share some of the web updates that we've been working on that help us and ultimately help you. So first of all, we're about to beat the drum pretty hard again on seismic. You all may remember what happened back in July with the announcement of the FEMA grant, and we're happy to say that the FEMA grant has come through. What does that mean for you? That means that we're expecting a new wave of interest, specifically in seismic, but just as we experienced back in July, the interest in seismic also prompts interest in the rest of our business lines. So we are quickly preparing for that. We have a news announcement with Representative Blumenauer and Commissioner Novick on Monday. For those of you paying attention, there was a pretty provocative article that ran last night on an outlet called Vice Media, which presents a pretty terrifying scenario. So we anticipate, again, some of that news coverage is likely to go viral, sparking attention and conversation once again on seismic. So we are prepared to go big on that. And I think, Ryan, you want to talk a little bit about the timeline?
Sure, yeah. I just wanted to highlight a timeline for everyone so everyone can kind of see, past to present and looking forward for the remainder of the year associated with the FEMA seismic project. So starting in July here, you see two bullet points lining up with each other. You've got Commissioner Steve Novick doing a press event with us, talking about pairing up with State Office of Emergency Management, Portland Bureau of Emergency Management, and Inhabit to go after additional pre-disaster dollars from FEMA. That was paired at the same time with a New Yorker article, and that was back in July of 15. And as we move down the timeline, you'll see that the demand just following that event, drove thousands of people into the system with an interest. And so from there, we ran a lottery on those folks that kind of came through that mix and created a list of 150 primary folks, 150 waitlist folks. So that's what this particular image is all of those folks plotted out, mapped, and ready to be assessed for for the seismic upgrades at their homes. So from that point, once we've got that, we move forward to today's date. And just like Steph said, we've got a press event next week with Commissioner Novick again announcing this. And from that announcement, the homeowners that are on that primary list will have the opportunity to go ahead and schedule their appointments. So those appointments will take place with a number of our contractors. You all know who you are. I've worked one-on-one with you in this process, and we'll just say thank you for all of the effort and work you all have put in as we've moved through this process. But those assessments will take place between April and May. You can see that down at the bottom here, and then the upgrades then taking place most likely through the summer months and into November to close off, and we'll hopefully be wrapping up this FEMA grant by the close of 2016.
Cool. Thanks, Ryan. Is there any questions about any of the seismic? No? Okay.
Okay, good.
Okay, moving on. Another strategic opportunity that we're paying attention to is this conversation about home scores. So again, City of Portland has been working for a long time. Mayor Hales is quite keen on looking at disclosure policy, which will be good news for us if in fact City of Portland policy requires a home efficiency score at time of sale. So we're preparing the field right now so that we can get ahead of this opportunity, putting some information in the market for homeowners, trying to generate some interest in demand, because demand for score yields demand for home assessment. So this is just a little snapshot of the newsletter this month, and we'll continue working most specifically with realtors and more broadly with some homeowner education to, again, get some of that interest up ahead of the policy so that we, as Inhabit, are recognized as a source for obtaining and delivering those scores. And then finally, I just wanted to walk through quite a number of changes that we've made on the website. And for those of you who were on the call last month, I talked a little bit about the research that we put into the market in February that yielded some new insights about what was happening for folks on the website. So we have digested the pieces of that research and moved quickly to make some of the changes. So real quickly, starting with just the navigation itself, a lot of people were confused about how Inhabit works and what it is that we actually do. So we built out some of the navigation. We significantly simplified the messages on the home page to make it much more homeowner friendly. And then we have pared down the primary call to action around schedule a visit so people have a direct pathway and can move quickly into what we need. And I will tell you, in the month that we have made these changes that I'll walk through, we've already seen a decrease in the bounce rate. So that means, basically what that means is people are finding what they need on the site. So we hope to see those numbers continue to go down and conversion into applications go up. This is a little snapshot of how it works. You can find it your own on the website if you're interested, but it literally walks people step by step through the process from get started to scheduling an assessment, reviewing the scope of work and the bid, getting your rebates and financing, and finally completing the work. And then some language around the quality, which is, again, the research telling us that people are looking for Inhabit as kind of that other layer of assurance, peace of mind, quality promise. So that's just a little bit of an update. Looking ahead into April, we're quickly moving into Solar Promotion Month. We're going to do a little campaign initiative around spring cleaning and tax time. We are anticipating that we are closing in on our 5,000 home milestone, so we're going to look to generate a little press around that time with Earth Day. And then a new campaign, we're carving out some of our direct targeting with new home buyers with the idea, this is particularly relevant in the Portland market, but we're also testing this in Rogue Valley and South Willamette as well. But the idea that with the market so hot, people are buying, their spend is a lot greater than they would normally see, and the state of the home is not great. So we're capitalizing on this idea that once homeowners move in, they're stuck with a home that maybe isn't operating as optimally as it could. So we're going to do some targeted messaging around that and see if we can get some additional traction. And that's it for me.
Sweet. Steph, thank you very much. Pause just for a second. Jason, Wendy, no questions right now? Okay, Wendy, it's all yours.
You can just push to only one. Okay. Hi, everyone. I just wanted to let you know that we are looking to launch a new product in April. We are going to start marketing specifically to indoor air quality and our ability to assess for that. We are going to offer it as, it could be an add-on for a customer who's coming to us for an energy efficiency assessment, or it could be standalone. Someone could say, I just want indoor air quality assessment. We're going to deliver these leads to contractors who are trained and equipped to provide the IAQ assessment. So have a device right now. What most of our contractors have that we're aware of is the Air Advice device. We are interviewing the contractors who have those devices right now, talking to them about their business models, because we want to ultimately build something that's going to contribute to how you're already selling this out in the field. So if you haven't heard from us and this is something you're interested in doing, you should get in touch with Ryan or myself to discuss how you become an indoor air quality contractor provider for Inhabit. We are interested in looking at, we understand that what most of the Inhabit contractors are providing right now is a 30-minute indoor air quality test. We're interested in understanding a little bit more about the difference between the 30-minute testing and the longer-term testing, and trying to figure out if there is a market for long-term testing. I understand some of the challenges in leaving a unit in a house for 3 days that you need to use to continually be testing in other houses. And so we're going to explore in a pilot during the first phase how we might be able to fill in the gaps there. We have a couple of the Air Advice units, and we're going to run a pilot where we're going to do some longer-term testing for folks. And then finally, at one time we had thought radon and indoor air quality were one and the same. It seems through our research that radon really continues to be a separate interest and a separate product. The testing equipment is entirely separate. So we will continue to have radon as a standalone product that people can come to us and say, hey, I want a radon test. And you know, marketing will do a lot to say, hey, if you're interested in radon, you're probably interested in indoor air quality and energy efficiency. We'll connect the dots for people, but ultimately we're going to deliver to people what they ask for. So that is our plan. Look for this coming in April, and let us know if you have any questions.
Great. Thanks, Wendy. Any questions there? Jason, Wendy, anyone?
Nope.
Okay, great. I'm going to take everyone through just a component part of operations that I've hit in the past couple months here that has everything to do with our system improvements in relationship to the Inhabit workbook. So as you've seen over the last 2 months, this is the drumbeat of the message here. The workbook is officially going away. So we are replacing that with a tool that we've created in-house called Threshold. And so, you know, Threshold's a free tool that's replacing the workbook. We've also invested in Cake Systems. So Cake Systems is in the process of coming out with a version 2. And the features that are going to be a part of that version 2 for Cake Systems are going to have some functionality with price booking for estimating for contractors and some specific reporting that could help you as you're kind of working through your sales process. So there's 2 different types of systems that we can use, both Cake Systems and Threshold in this. Both tools will be 100% compatible with each other. Both are kind of built on the background or the back-end functionality from HPXML. Both tools will be web apps. They'll be mobile optimized. You can use them on your desktops, your laptops, tablets, and phones. So again, this is the 3rd time I've gone over this, but I want to make sure that we're continuing to kind of keep that drumbeat going with this. So Cake's version will be free for a period of time. This is something that in our investment we worked with Cake Systems to make this available for folks, but it will turn into a subscription model. Cake will most likely be launching, and the release of this will take place at ACI, Home Performance Council, or Home Performance Coalition National event, which is in the first week of April. And Jason and I have been working directly with all of our partner contractors, and we've got everyone kind of coming online here. The goal is March, April for all of the launch for everything here. And Jason and I have got about 50% of the current contractors turned on with this. We've got more appointments with people next week to continue getting everyone moved over. It's actually pretty easy transition on the threshold side, and will be just the same with Cake as they launch theirs as well. So some nice functionality for everyone here to ease things and streamline system improvements. That's all that I have there. Jason, you're up with quality.
All right. Happy Friday. All right. So like Ryan was mentioning earlier, I'm going to go through our quality review results to date in February. And I want to highlight our March Techie Brekkie that's coming up next week. And I will review where you can find content from the Techie that we did in February, and then go over the project of the month. So our February results are looking really good. We got an 80% pass rate for February, and that brought us up to 75% year to date. So we're on track to hit 80% for the quarter, which is the plan. And if you're at 75%, if you're below 75% right now, you'll be getting a report card from me just kind of going over your numbers. And I'm happy to go over those with you individually and work with you and identify any issues that are coming up. You can also contact me with questions around that. So you can see also on the right, we have very few major corrections, a lot of minor stuff that is easy to prevent. So here we are. This is the chart that I've been showing every month that just shows the number of quality reviews in green that we've been doing each month. And you can see that in this February, we really upped the ante this February to what we did in January, and we got a nice pass rate for the month and hit the benchmark that we're looking at. So we're making good progress. All right, the March Techie Brekkie is going to be on mini split systems. And I believe this picture is from Indonesia. So, we really want to do really solid quality installs like you guys are doing. So I want to continue giving you the tools that you need to do quality installs. And so Eric Van Orden is one of our top Mitsubishi technical support reps that we know of. He's a huge resource to our industry on how all the details that go into designing these and installing these correctly. He's going to do just kind of go over strategies for designing and installing these things correctly, and mainly focus on the Diamond Systems Builder software that's available. That's an excellent tool for putting the equipment list together, laying these things out, getting the sizing correct, and all the details that go into these, including the new MXZ systems that have branch boxes and other components that make it a little more complicated. This is a great session for anybody in your company that wants to learn about this. You get a BPI credit just like last month. So really looking forward to it. It's the second time Eric has come over and done a training with our whole team. If you didn't make it to the February Techie Brekkie, no worries. You can download all the supporting documents we went over. There's a link here to the slides if you just want to scroll through the slides when you get a break and all the things that you're doing, or you can just watch the full video and listen in. It's a great chance to kind of get an update on what's going on with the BPI auditing standard, and if you want to learn about ASHRAE 622, and we did a nice history of both of those and try to put them into context for you. So you can watch the whole video just as long as you don't heckle me during that time.
Hey, Jason, I got a quick question for you.
Sure.
You and I had talked a little bit about if folks did go back and watch the video and they wanted to get CEUs for that, calling you or contacting you to answer a couple questions with regards to it. Do you want to offer that up as something?
I haven't got that full. I have that request into BPI right now.
Okay.
So I'll let you guys know if that's a possibility. And more to come on that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I thought it was a great idea. So.
All right. Let's see. What's up next? Project of the month. So this is a great project that Goodenia Retrofit did. The team, Greg and Chris over there. This one, we're highlighting this one not just because it's a great project, but some of the pain points were a little bit unique, so I wanted to go through those. This is a 50s ranch, all electric heated. They did the 100-point check, and they identified it actually had a gas water heater, so we had a combustion safety issue with it. It was spilling, and there's no CO detector in the home. So that's an issue before you start weatherizing this house. And the homeowner had taken out the baseboard heaters and was heating the home with a pellet stove and some plug-in space heaters, which isn't really ideal. It's hard to control thermostat settings on these kinds of heating systems. There wasn't a lot of insulation in the attic and nothing in the crawl ceiling. And the exhaust fans were shown they weren't connected to the outside, so the fans weren't working really well. There's some air sealing opportunities, so great house for putting a project together. There was also single pane windows. The homeowner could have done a huge variety of things. So what were the homeowner's pain points? I talked with Chris yesterday through this, and there were a lot of really pivotal things here. One is the one that we're most comfortable with, and we hear all the time, not comfortable in the summer and winter. So we want to try to solve for that. There was really high humidity in this home and condensation on the windows, and the homeowner's constantly wiping them down, trying to keep it from their windows being damaged from moisture staining and whatnot. Poor insulation levels, drafty home. The heating system is poor, not an ideal setup for what the homeowner needs. And I talked about how they removed the baseboard heaters already in the home. And for this homeowner, costs were a big concern, so they need to find something that fit their budget. So a lot of stuff to do, but how do you pare this down to a project that fits a homeowner's budget? This is something you guys deal with every day. So the homeowner worked with Chris and found a great solution for the home. They ended up putting in a nice ductless mini-split system. They insulated the attic. They did a full air sealing package. You got a nice reduction. They upgraded that water heater that was spilling to a power vented gas water heater model. They installed a nice CO monitor. They actually put in one of the Nest Protect units. The homeowner actually decided to keep their costs down to repair the kitchen and bath exhaust fans on their own. And then they used the Craft 3 loan so that they can wrap this in their utility bill and find a monthly payment that worked for them. So a lot of pieces of the puzzle put together to get this to move forward. And this is something you guys you work all the time to be really good at and work with the homeowners on, and Chris did a great job. So at the end of this project, the homeowner is really comfortable and happy with this project. They got a new heating system that is heating the whole home. The mini split unit is able to heat this smaller house really well. That condensation issue is basically gone. No more wiping the windows down, every day during the winter. They really like this Nest Protect. This is a really small device in the whole scheme of the thing. This is like a $100, $150 unit. But this is like a really nice pivot point. They really like this unit. They can have an app, and it'll tell them that their home is safe when they're gone and there's no smoke and CO in the home. I actually have one of these in my home, and I do the same thing. When we go on vacation, it turns green and shows me that it's actually checking itself. It's a nice peace of mind to have. It's a great, nice add-on for a project. So overall, we got a happy homeowner who's going to have years of comfort in this home. Great job, good energy retrofit. Another great project of the month.
Yay!
There you have it. That is the March Contractor Call. Short, to the point.
And quite newsy.
And quite newsy, yes. So thank you all for joining us. Appreciate it. Hope you all have a great Friday. I'll pause for 1 second, just look at Jason and Wendy one last time. Any questions that we need to address before we drop off?
No.
Okay, great. Everyone have a great Friday. We will talk to you next month. Good luck out there. Have a great day.